Hi, it's Kitty Blue. This is going to be where I start breaking down into the groups and showing the comparison of different body types in each size. Forewarning, like I put on the very front of this video, is that there is doll nudity, so I apologize for that, but unfortunately that's the only way that you'll be able to see the differences in the sculpts and body types and things like that. So this is going to be actually a combination of the Tiny and the Anthro dolls, because I don't really have too many of them, and I think it'll just be easier to do that. So here we go. I'm going to grab the camera and we're going to take a closer look at some of these different sculpts. Okay, as usual, we're going to start from the left to the right, and I apologize ahead of time for the camera. It doesn't like to stay in focus. So this is going to be the Tinies, which are these group of dolls right here, and they're pretty much all in the same height range. You can definitely tell that there's a lot of difference between the way that they're actually sculpted and the different sizes of them. So they're approximately 5 inches, so they're approximately like maybe 13 or 15 centimeters. At the very end, you can see this is the Good Ray doll, and a sleeping elf boy, Bracken, Naviette Garden of Doll, Babobi girl doll body, and this is the Resin Soul body and the Babobi boy body. So some of the difference that you can tell is just in the aesthetics of how they're sculpted and like how their hands and stuff are. You can tell a lot of times that the tiny ones are going to be more kind of chubby and baby-like, but you also can see that there are some sculpts out there that have a more mature and thin look, kind of like very miniature little fairies. So there are some dolls that are anatomically correct, and again, I apologize for the nudity and whatnot, but this is a comparison. You can see the boy body here next to the girl body, and you can also see that this is actually the only doll that I have in this size that is 3 parts, with it being this tiny. He's got a three-piece body, a torso, a midsection, and a pelvis. The girls and most of the other ones do not. Here you can also see that different companies put the seam lines in different locations. With the Naviette doll, it is like right underneath her bust. With the Babobi dolls, it's kind of like almost at their waist, and the Resin Soul doll, it's kind of at the waist, but it's like lower. It's more almost towards the hip. And you can see the Babobi dolls and the Resin Soul dolls are also anatomically correct. They have their little boy and girl parts. The Good Ray dolls pretty much are unsexed. I think he is supposed to be a boy doll, but they're not. They don't have that difference in showing if it's a boy or a girl, so they're pretty much asexual. Another comparison and difference you can see in some of these tinies is like the head sizes. You can see that the Naviette and the Bracken and the red and dark tan there have smaller heads, and definitely again are like more mature looking. And the Babobi compared to the Resin Soul, you can also tell a difference in the body and the head sculpts. Babobi, I've found that I think there's more like forehead, and the bodies are definitely much slimmer on the Resin Soul versus the Babobi. It's very slim, very nice looking shape there. So let's see what else. Ears, you can definitely tell that there's just all kinds of, like, you know, different styles of ears depending on the companies. They have different, like, you know, human little elf ears and big elf ears and whatnot. So that is it. If you have any questions on that, you can feel free to comment below on those. We're going to move over to the Anthro Dolls, which if I pull that screw out here a little bit, you can tell that they start out very tiny and kind of similar to the Tiny Dolls, and then they do go up even farther than what the one on the end is, because he is actually 27 centimeters, or 28 centimeters, and they can get smaller and probably bigger at that point. So the Pookie Pookie, which is from Fairyland. What is great about this kind of doll, and if I can set my camera, I don't think I can, but what's great about this doll with the Fairylands is that they are actually magnetic. They have magnetic hands and feet, which are great because you can change your clothes so much easier. So that is definitely one thing that is really interesting about the Anthro Dolls for them. On the they actually have face plates versus taking the whole entire head off. You can switch face plates instead on the Fairyland dolls. Next to the Pookie Pookie is a reindeer from Goodray. What is definitely most different about the Goodray dolls, Anthro Dolls, compared to Asian ball jointed dolls, is that their feet are actually human, which is one thing that I don't really care about them. I think some of their sculpts, especially their Anthro Dolls, are very cute and adorable, but they do have, you know, just these human feet, which are just kind of odd, because he's got, you can obviously see he's got hoofs for hands. So let's see here, and next to the reindeer we have a Catsy, elf doll, Catsy, and that is, you can see, much slimmer. She's very mature looking. She's got a very mature bust to her, and she has the cat face. She also has, I believe she also has, no, she actually has a head cap, so she doesn't have a faceplate like the Pookies do. And then we have the doll leaves, the reindeer. I just put the reindeer out. I do have a panda, but it seems, just by looking at it, it looked like that the bodies are pretty much the same, so I didn't pull that out. And it's the same for the Resin Soul dolls. This is the Resin Soul Ox, and I also have the one of the dogs that they have. The bodies are the same, but they just have, you know, different hoofs, and obviously he's an ox and the other one's a dog. But this one is, again, a Goodray doll, and like I said, we've got the human feet and hoofs on her hands. She is a pig, and she is, they're about, I believe, let's see, they're 7 inches, about 7 inches, almost 8 inches tall, I believe, which is like 15 centimeters. I'm probably wrong on that. I don't have my tape measure right off. This is the Pushui, which is the Resin Soul Dragon, which actually has a separate head on it. I have a Lu head, which is one of the MSD heads on the OSD size body. So now what I want to do is just go over some of the deeper comparisons here. Again, most of the dolls on the Anthros either have a 2-part body, like the Pookie and the Catsy, the Resin Soul, and the larger size Goodray doll and the Resin Soul Pushui all have two-parted bodies. The reindeer, which is the 5-inch Anthro doll for Good Ray, does not has one solid body, as well as the Doll Leaves doll. They all have one torso body. They don't have the separate torsos. Again, you can see the difference as far as aesthetics, the way the dolls are shaped. Anthros usually don't have any girl or boy parts that I have noticed or have recalled, even though the Resin Soul now has different boy and girl bodies that do have their parts, and you can get them with the dragon parts as well. So technically they can be a boy or a girl instead of asexual. Although with the Catsy doll, you can obviously see that she is definitely a girl. She's got the breast and everything. So as far as like jointing and whatnot, the Pookie and let's see who else. The Pookie and the Doll Leaves doll has double jointed legs and knees. I don't believe they have double jointed arms in any of them, except for the Peshui does have double jointed arms. We've got that extra elbow piece there for it to be able to move differently. Another thing with the Anthro dolls is that some of them have tails. I'm just going to try and turn him around. He's got a bunny tail, and it is actually magnetic. The Good Ray dolls do not have tails. The Pookie dolls do not have tails, and the Anthros. The Resin Soul dolls do have tails, but they are actually on a peg system that go into the part in the back, which I can turn him around. There's like a little spot, just a little square hole. Sometimes they don't stay in very well, so. And with the Peshui, it has magnetic parts. It has magnets on the wings, as well as a magnet on the tail. And we'll just flip him around here if he doesn't fall over. And the only thing that I don't care for with the Resin Soul doll is this big, huge magnet that's on his butt. Other than that, the magnets for the wings are actually inside, right here. And I think that's about it for the Anthro dolls. Again, you know, if you have any questions that you want further answered or anything like that, just comment below, and I will be able to, you know, hopefully get a response to you. Other than that, let's see, comparison, I mean, obviously you can tell just by looking at the different body types and the different shapes that, you know, it just depends on company to company on that. So thank you again for watching. I will be continuing to do videos for the MSD size and, or the USD size, the MSDs and the SDs in further comparison like I have with these. So thank you for watching again, and look forward to listening to, or look forward to seeing your comments and answering your questions. Take care. Bye.